Apparently, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are thinking of moving to Europe. Oh, I bet they are. A source spoke with In Touch, and they said that Mila and Ashton have had it with Hollywood. Oh, have you had it with Hollywood, or have you had it with people exposing you?
Hollywood power couple Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis have reportedly decided to make a drastic change in their lives as they navigate the fallout from their connections to Sean Diddy Combs. The pair is said to be considering a move to Europe amidst the ongoing scandal surrounding Combs, who faces serious allegations, including conspiracy racketeering, trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. This situation has left Kutcher and Kunis grappling with unwanted public scrutiny and the consequences of their past associations.
As of late, Ashton and Mila have been in the limelight due to Ashton Kutcher's relationship with Diddy. And a source said Ashton's so exasperated that once again he's being dragged through the mud because of his past associations. The source continues and says, first it was Danny Masterson and now it's Diddy. Exactly, first Danny Masterson, a convicted rapist. And now Diddy. You know what they say, you are the company you keep, Ashton. And the source said it's got him convinced that there are way better places out there to live than Hollywood. In his view, the town is just a cesspool at this point. Oh, but it wasn't a cesspool when him and Mila were writing letters defending Danny Masterson and his disgusting actions.
The controversy erupted in September 2024 when Diddy was arrested on a slew of charges. While Combs has pleaded not guilty, the trial has brought his inner circle into the spotlight. Ashton Kutcher, known for his roles in That 70s Show and 2.5 Men, found himself under scrutiny due to his past friendship with Combs. Kutcher had attended one of Diddy's iconic white parties, a hallmark of the music mogul's lavish lifestyle.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. Can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out.
There's been a lot of people that have gone back and find old episodes like Ashton Kutcher. He was on a 2019 episode of Hot Ones interview where he was asked about ever attending a Diddy get together or a party, and he goes, oh, I can't tell. Like, he was like, oh, I've got one, a lot that I can tell you. Oh wait, no, I can't tell you about that one. Can't tell you about that one either. I'm actually cycling through all of the Diddy party stories, and man, some weird memories are coming down that lane.
An insider revealed that Kutcher is deeply concerned that Diddy might fabricate allegations against him in a bid to save himself. The actor reportedly feels betrayed and manipulated by Combs and is now reflecting on their past friendship with regret.
Now, this is a story he's told the media several times, including here on James Corden, talking about how they ran the marathon.
Ashton, you were instrumental in getting Diddy getting into shape. Is this true? Explain how.
Okay. So we were spending a lot of time together. By the way, if you're a single man, like there's probably no greater human being in the world. This is 20 years ago, 19 years ago.
Yeah.
And so it was.
If you're a single man, there's no better man to know. Ha ha ha. Man, this stuff just looks awful now. Ashton has like the worst taste in friends. It's hard to not feel like you.
The scrutiny over Kutcher's relationship with Diddy comes on the heels of another scandal involving Danny Masterson, Kutcher's That 70s Show co-star. Masterson was convicted of rape earlier this year, and Kutcher and Kunis face significant backlash after their letters of support for Masterson became public. In the letters, they vouched for Masterson's character, describing him as a good person.
It was this girl's blood, the poor victim. And allegedly he left and was really concerned that his fingerprints were going to be on the door when it found out that she was murdered. So maybe he had some sort of involvement. What are your thoughts on everything?
If the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them. but they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close, they was cool.
When these letters surfaced, the couple issued a public apology, acknowledging the backlash and expressing remorse for the pain caused. However, the damage to their public image was already done.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system.
Amid the double hit to their reputation, Kutcher and Kunis are reportedly considering leaving Hollywood altogether. According to sources, the couple spent the summer in Europe with their children, exploring the possibility of making it their permanent home.
Not like there's a whole country here for you to explore to get away from Hollywood. The source also says that these two have had it with Hollywood. You mean Hollywood getting caught and having consequences? The same Hollywood that you are complicit with and very suspiciously close to. Not only did I grow up in the era of punked, I've always liked Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, and I also look up to Ashton for all of his work in human and child crimes. But now I'm kind of wondering, is he doing that kind of work on purpose? I don't know, the whole thing just feels so odd to me.
The move is seen as a way to provide their children with a more grounded lifestyle, away from the relentless media attention and controversies. A source told In Touch Weekly that Kutcher feels exasperated by the constant drama tied to his past associations and believes that relocating might be the best solution for his family. The insider also shared that Europe offers a level of anonymity and a slower pace of life that the couple finds appealing.
They had such a great time in Europe. In many ways, the idea of moving there is topping their list right now because they figured that would be such a great place to live and raise their kids with a much more grounded lifestyle. I think they mean that this would be a great way for Ashton to get out before his dirty little secrets start to surface. I'm sorry, but you cannot convince me that Ashton Kutcher, who groomed Mila Kunis, 14-year-old Mila Kunis. Do you guys remember how Danny Masterson had bet Ashton $10 to use his tongue when kissing 14-year-old Mila Kunis? The guy who wrote letters to defend convicted rapist Danny Masterson, who was also his best friend for years.
Speculation surrounding the relationship between Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis has reached a fever pitch, with rumors suggesting that Kunis is considering splitting from Kutcher due to shocking revelations about his alleged involvement with Diddy and the activities that transpired at Diddy's infamous parties. While no official confirmation has been made, insiders claim that Kunis is deeply troubled by what she has learned and is rethinking her marriage.
Who is Ashton Kutcher in trouble? A lot of sources are saying that he's attended a lot of Diddy's parties, not just the parties, the freak-off parties. They are saying that him and Mila Kunis are splitting. Things are coming out about the Diddy parties and Ashton being there and other things he's done. Mila doesn't like that, allegedly. And Ashton did an interview saying, "I've got a lot I can't tell." And then he continues to say, "I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm actually cycling through them. Diddy party stories, man, that was like some weird memory lane." Ashton and Mila have not spoken out about everything since, everything's happened. But a source that is probably part of his team says this is absolutely ridiculous and false. Another source adds Ashton has no involvement in any of this. He doesn't belong in this conversation about Diddy. Ashton has only seen Diddy in a handful of social and business events, all of which have been documented by the media.
The revelations stem from Kutcher's past associations with Diddy, who is currently facing a high-profile trial for charges, including conspiracy racketeering and trafficking. Diddy's legendary white parties, known for their exclusivity and opulence, are now under scrutiny as more details about what allegedly occurred during these events come to light.
So there are now rumors that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis are going to be breaking up amid all the stress and scandal of what's going on with P. Diddy. If you remember, Ashton was really really good friends with P. Diddy, and they did interviews together where Ashton talked about how much he loved going to Diddy's parties, but he did things there that he couldn't talk about. Also, there's a huge chance that Ashton is going to be called in to testify against Diddy, and they've even been seen taking their kids on separate vacations, so it kind of looks like maybe they're not doing so well, and this might be part of their separation. And I'm sure that we all still remember all the backlash that they got for writing the judge asking for leniency for their friend Danny Masterson after he'd been convicted of sexually assaulting multiple women. Anytime that we talk about Ashton, everybody always jumps to his defense and says, oh, he did work with that place for the human trafficking. You can build a million bridges. Nobody's ever going to call you a bridge builder. But if all your friends are perverts, weirdos, and human traffickers, there's something going on inside you. So we'll see how all that goes real soon.
Ashton Kutcher's connection to Diddy stems from their shared Hollywood social circles, though they are not known to be close friends. Kutcher has reportedly attended some of Diddy's iconic parties, famed for their celebrity-packed guest lists and lavish atmosphere. Recent allegations of misconduct tied to Diddy's gatherings have brought heightened scrutiny to these events and their attendees.
You cannot tell me that all of these people in Hollywood haven't known, just like Cat Williams said, about Diddy parties.
Now today I want to talk about Ashton Kutcher, and he somehow makes it out of every single huge controversy, despite the fact that now officially almost every single one of the men he describes as his closest friends has gone to jail or been caught up in some essay or child-related controversy. And now there are even past interviews and things of Ashton Kutcher talking about Diddy's famous freak-off parties, where he brags about them and says he can't talk about what happened there. The charity he was overly involved with seems like kind of a cover story. It really emphasizes a lot of the things that his friends keep going down for. Then we have his first wife, Demi Moore, making out with a 15-year-old. I don't know why, I guess they thought it was funny. His long-standing friendship with Dax Shepard that started on their TV show Punk'd. People still have interesting stories to share about Dax Shepard to this day. But you know what I always say about a prank channel, why do you get so much enjoyment out of watching people suffer? And it frequently went way too far. Then we have the core boyfriend group from That 70s Show. Strange promo that Ashton Kutcher only said he agreed to do because Mila would sit on his lap. That is a 17-year-old and he was in his 20s. Then we have Wilmer Valderrama, who's well known to have dated many teenagers. Most notably, he met Demi Lovato when she was 17 and he was almost 30. Mila Kunis, who was only 14 years old when most of these men were in their 20s. Danny Masterson not only made strange comments about how she was hotter when she was 14, but he also dared Ashton Kutcher to French kiss her instead when she was 14 and he was 19. Ashton Kutcher well into his 20s making inappropriate comments about waiting for Hilary Duff to turn 18 when she was 15. And he also threw in the Olsen twins as well. Then there's Danny Masterson, who was convicted for R-wording 2 women, in which Ashton Kutcher and his now wife Mila Kunis both wrote letters of support for.
There have been speculations circulating that Combs played a role in introducing Ashton Kutcher to Demi Moore at one of his infamous parties. While the exact details of their first meeting remain a bit murky, it's widely known that Kutcher and Moore's relationship began around the early 2000s, a time when Kutcher was frequently seen at Diddy's parties along with other celebrities like Jamie Foxx. Diddy himself has hinted that Moore's influence led Kutcher to step away from the wild party scene they were part of.
You remember this guy here, Ashton Kutcher? You remember him and Diddy used to hang out all the time. You remember Diddy was the one who hooked them up with Demi Moore. This is how bold Diddy was, and this is how shit gets real.
Ashton Kutcher's connection to Diddy has come under renewed scrutiny following Diddy's recent legal troubles, which include allegations of trafficking and misconduct at his infamous parties. Kutcher, who has publicly spoken about attending Diddy's events, shared vague and suggestive details in a 2019 interview on Hot Ones. He remarked that there was a lot I can't tell about Diddy's parties, sparking curiosity about the extent of his involvement.
Ashton Kutcher was once loved by the public, but he's had a lot of scandals last year, and now he's being absolutely destroyed over P. Diddy. There's been some backlash to Ashton Kutcher due to his on-screen romance with Mila Kunis when she was 14 years old and he was 19 when they were doing That 70s Show together. That's because Ashton Kutcher revealed during his first kiss with Mila Kunis he used his tongue without her permission because Danny Masterson bet him $20 he wouldn't. Then in the early 2000s, when marketing the movie Cheaper by the Dozen, he made a joke about his 15-year-old co-star saying she was in the club of people America can't wait to turn 18. He also joked at the same time the Olsen twins were also on that list because they had 6 countdown clocks for their 18th birthday.
Numerous allegations have surfaced suggesting that Diddy's parties were far from innocent. Reports claim these events involved coercive behavior, including strict physical requirements for attendees and the use of substances to maintain compliance. Organizers and attendees have described disturbing practices such as mandatory weight checks and rigid dress codes, with women required to wear short dresses and high heels. Additionally, age verification was allegedly overlooked.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent.
In a resurfaced interview from 2002 on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Diddy made a disturbing joke about locking women up at his parties. This clip has gained renewed attention following his recent arrest on serious charges.
A lot of ladies drink water at parties. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
We've actually spoken with several people who say, frankly, they're not surprised by any of this. This, as the attention in terms of the investigation, now shifts to some of Diddy's friends and employees.
Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has confirmed the existence of hidden cameras at Diddy's parties. In multiple interviews, Deal disclosed that Diddy used these cameras to record activities at his gatherings without attendees' knowledge or consent.
To set it up. To set up the atmosphere that, yo, this guy's gonna lie on us. This guy ain't gonna tell the truth on us. But what we know is that wherever Diddy went, his tape recorders went. His camera equipment was working. He was videotaping everything. So they might have that videotape already.
According to Jaguar, these tapes are now allegedly surfacing on the dark web, where they are being traded for astronomical sums in dark coins, a form of cryptocurrency known for its anonymity.
You said Justin Bieber, and I have to ask you because there's a picture circulating online where they show
He's
Justin.
the new Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, they show him crying. You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened to.
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him or for him. Because the same thing that they did to him, they're doing to Bieber right now. And I have evidence. That poor kid. And all because he got discovered by Usher. And then Usher took him right over there to the diddler. And let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know because I monitor, went for $500 million. It had multiple stars in it. Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Drake.
Beaver was my time, and with Beaver being my time,
you gotta say Beaver.
Beaver.
I heard a little Beaver. I was like, Kato heard it too.
I seen Beaver when he was 15, and actually in that excerpt inside the house where he was like, yo, you want one of these? And it was a Lamborghini. He actually told me to pull the Lamborghini out, pull it in the front, and I pulled it in the front. So it was me, him, Scooter, what's his name? Scooter.
Scooter
Brock.
Scooter Braun, yeah.
It was him, and it was just basically one of them phone calls like, yo, I'm in town, I'm gonna bring Justin by, I want you to holler at him for a little while. And he just hollered at him they ain't stayed together 48 hours and all that. He just was talking shit right there. He stayed there for about an hour or two, and he got up out of there.
What's your take on Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis considering leaving the country due to their connection to Diddy's ongoing scandal? Share your thoughts in the comments below.